everyone. Welcome to Zeitgeist Zealots. I'm Forrest.
I'm Major.
I'm Robbie.
Matt. I guess
And
Maurice, I'm joining.
And we have a special
Maurice is
guest with
here, too.
us today. Hey, everyone. Listeners out there, first off, thanks so much for listening. We appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We have a very special guest with you today. Maurice, I'll let him introduce himself here in a second if he even wants to. But first, I wanted to say hi to everyone and kind of say what's happening here. This isn't a podcast. This is not podcast recording day. We actually joined together to play some Dungeons and Dragons, and then a couple of our players got sick. So we just thought we'd say hey to everyone, right? There's some crazy shit that's going on. HBO cut like 70% of its staff or whatever. So, we're just going to talk about that today. A little more laid back approach, if I may.
Yeah, we weren't planning on doing podcasts this week. We usually do them on Monday nights. But yeah, that being said, I think Maurice has been on the podcast once or twice before.
I have been on before, like a year ago, I think. It's been a while.
I have no idea what the episode was.
How long have we been doing this now? How long
Over a year
and a half. Because
Yeah. That's
our,
right,
the
listeners.
Our
Huge.
first recording was January 6th. So
No,
it's a very
that's
historic day.
Wait, was it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that.
Oh, I think.
It was like, well, this
Wow, I
is horrible.
didn't
Let's
know.
start a podcast.
Perfect.
Awful.
Hey, did you guys hear
Yeah,
what's going
first
on
episode of
at the
WandaVision
Capitol?
was
No, did you hear what's going on in WandaVision?
It's
first episode
Yeah.
of WandaVision, January 15th. It says.
no. It
about
was
before that.
well, wait, what was it? January 16th, or was it January 6th? Was the inauguration day?
January 6th. That's when we did it.
January
We definitely
6th
did it on
was
that day.
Electors,
Yeah.
January 20th. January 20th.
Oh, I think maybe we talked about Wonder Woman 1984. I don't know.
88.
But
The worst movie of all time?
Yep.
No,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not. It's definitely not. It's just bad. It's just so much worse than the first one.
no, it's
Which
just terrible.
seems to be...
Like
which,
I would
do we have a
put it
sequel
in
problem?
No, I think it's just like it's almost like Batman versus Batman and Robin level bad. But yeah, it's I'm just looking back. But yeah, Matt, you want to talk about Discovery? Like
Stop.
firing
Before
everyone.
I do that, can we stop for a second? Like, I'm gonna let Matt get there. I'm gonna let you finish. But Batman and Robin was the greatest Batman movie of all time. No, that's just a meme I'm inserting there. I wonder. I ask you guys, how long until Batman and Robin gets the respect it deserves for its campiness? Right? Like, we love
All right.
Adam West 1960s Batman. It's so camp. He's got fucking shark repellent, and we love it. He's running around the city with a giant bomb trying to get rid of it, but he can't, and we love it.
Oh, yeah.
Why don't we love the Batman credit card?
Okay, so I'm gonna apologize up front for getting these two confused, but I always get these two confused.
Go for it.
Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. Which one is Batman Forever? Which one is Batman and Robin?
Oh no, I always get those confused too. Batman and Robin is the Joe Schumacher with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Poison Ivy. I remember that because
Okay.
Poison Ivy and Batman and Robin have like a love triangle going on. That's how
That
I always
is
remember it.
Okay.
that's one of the best superhero movies. I don't care. I'll
Oh my
argue
gosh,
somebody
so-
down.
Batman's leaving.
Forever.
Batman's leaving. Alfred says, "Don't you want to get some dinner?" And Batman's like, "I'll get drive-through." Like, if Adam West said that, like that's an amazing line.
Batman Forever almost killed Val Kilmer's career because
No, I think it
He
killed
did
it.
that.
I think it killed it.
it did kill it because he did that, and then he had such a bad experience. He refused the hundreds of millions of dollars thrown away to do the next one, in which George Clooney, I believe, took over.
Yeah.
And everybody said he
career
was like a
exploded
hard to
after
deal with actor. Why wouldn't he want all this money? And he's like, literally, I could not move in the suit, and I wasn't acting. I was just like saying lines and emoting. And
Okay,
it was a horrible
so-
experience.
And hanging upside
Did we?
down.
Is that
Did
when
you
he
guys
turned
see
around,
the
like,
Batman? Of course,
because he
y'all
couldn't
guys seen the Batman, the new Batman movie.
Yeah, oh,
That's
yeah.
the name of it, right?
Yeah.
Robert Pattinson? Yeah.
Okay, so okay, I could be wrong, but I feel like he didn't act in that movie either. Like, he was just a blank canvas, and everything was happening around him. And I feel like that's okay for Batman to be that.
You mean the same movie in which he appears in Batman costume. He's like, "Do you know who I am?" And it's like, "Yeah." It's like the other night you showed up not in costume.
Yeah.
And we're like, "Do you know who I am?" You know.
Yes, that
Somebody
same
said
movie.
that in that exact same
With
voice.
the what Ratolada or whatever they kept saying.
Oh, right.
rat
Don't you know the
queen.
difference between law and L?
Maurice,
Uh,
why are you even focused on these tiny, minuscule problems compared to the shit show that's going to be a musical called Joker 2?
Oh yeah, I think that's
Like,
just secured
how?
I think a fall 2024 release.
How is that gonna fucking work? Like, look, 10 years ago, I would say yeah. Like, there's enough talent in this industry that could blow me away with a Joker musical. But a Joker sequel that is also a musical in the first one, that's Todd Phillips. God, like, look, give it to Ryan Johnson. Give the sequel to Ryan Johnson so I can just go ahead and kill myself.
Well, no one thought the Joker movie was gonna work. You know, everyone was
Yes,
like, "How the hell is
nobody
the Joker
did.
movie
Yeah,
without
nobody
Batman
thought
gonna
it would
work?"
Oh, no,
With
the
Joaquin
Joker,
Phoenix,
I think,
even though we just
I
had a
think the
Joker.
Joker might be the easiest character to play. Be fucking crazy. Go crazy. Go nuts.
Pretty much. Yeah,
Right?
pretty
Like,
much.
that's
No,
not
that's a lie.
acting.
Be
That's
fair.
That's a
being...
lie. That's a lie, Major, and you know it because Jared Leto is crazy and insane, and he could not play
Yeah.
Joker.
To be
And that's his
fair,
fault.
like
He was
at
trying
least
to.
Todd
He was
Phillips.
trying to act crazy. He was trying to act crazy. Sorry, Forrest. If Jared Leto
Yeah.
had just
Um,
been Jared Leto, he'd been a terrible fucking bad guy. He'd been a great bad guy.
Yeah.
Also,
Well, like-
okay, so I feel like Jared Leto didn't get enough time to be Joker for you to really see
Yes.
his Joker. You know what I mean? Like,
Can I tell you,
you
Maurice?
got such a small bit of what his Joker was.
5 minutes. Maurice, can I
Go
tell you a
ahead.
secret?
Go ahead.
You're new to the podcast. Can I tell you a secret? You can't tell anyone else, all right?
Yes,
Like, this is a really big secret.
yes.
I actually
Okay.
thoroughly enjoy Jared
Go
Leto's
ahead.
as the Joker in the first Suicide Squad, right? Like, I think it's fucking ridiculous. He's got dangerous tattooed on his face. That's stupid. But he's got like a mouth tattoo on his hand, and when he laughs, he covers it up. He's like, ha,
Yeah,
ha,
and he
ha. Like, dude,
Yeah, he puts
no,
it to his...
I
He's
fucking
supposed to
loved.
be... Yeah.
I love Jared Leto in the Suicide Squad. I thought he was the best Joker since Heath Ledger.
Well,
Now,
it was just hyperbolic, the hate, because he was barely in the
yeah.
movie. Like,
That's
he
what
was
I'm
barely
saying.
in the movie,
You
so
didn't
it's
get
just like,
enough chance
But
with
it
him
also
to
wasn't
even...
his movie.
so like, you know, I didn't think he did like amazing job, but I didn't
Yeah.
hate his performance either because he was barely in the movie. He was like an actor.
I
But to be
wonder-
fair, Joker shouldn't be in the Suicide Squad movie anyway because Harley Quinn should not be in the Suicide Squad because Task Force X does not take insane criminals. That's why the Joker's never been in Task Force X. It takes like sane but very skilled supervillains. So like Harley Quinn joining the
That's a good
Suicide
point.
Squad in the first place, like, was stupid.
Well,
A stupid
the director,
creative decision, but
the director came out.
super
and said
popular,
that-
so that's why I did it.
The director came out and said that he made a big mistake by not making the Joker the main villain in the first movie. Now, I don't know how that would have worked. You need a whole new script or whatever.
He made
But
several
you're right.
mistakes.
Yeah, you have to-
Shelving the second greatest character in the Batman franchise for Bloodshot or whatever, not the best idea.
No,
That's true,
like
yeah.
I feel like if they gave him a movie where he could have been his like thug, you know, like millennial thug, you know, Joker, like
Yeah.
he could have fleshed that character out, and I feel like he probably will at least did an okay job. I can't really know because I didn't see enough of it. I don't know.
Mhm.
But I like some of the veins that were going. Like I like some of the like groundwork
He
he
was a
was making. I
gangster.
guess you want to say. Like I liked where he was going. He was taking it in a different direction,
He was
and he
Lil
was
Wayne.
still. Yeah, basically he was like
Yeah.
a Lil Wayne Joker, and he was still like a Joker in that sense. Like he was still like a okay, that dude's crazy. You know, that dude's a little off,
Joker,
which
like,
I
running the club.
And like,
yeah,
if you
which
think
is why
about it,
the vibe I think you should get from Joker.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
and like if you think about it,
Also,
like,
I want to make something clear.
go ahead.
I thought Inauguration Day was January 6th when the riots happened. Apparently, the
that's the
January
voting
6th
day.
riots were when they were finalizing the votes.
Yeah,
Yes,
the
that's when
votes.
Congress. For some reason, I thought it was like it was the same as Inauguration Day. But yeah, apparently those were two separate days. So our first podcast was on Inauguration Day when there were no riots and it was a pretty peaceful
was it?
affair. So, but still, it was pretty close to January 6th. I don't think there was.
We were still probably
it was
talking
a lot
about
peaceful
it.
than Trump's inauguration. More peaceful than that. I remember that. So, but yeah, it was.
Maurice, let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
But I'm not trying to make a political statement. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
I was about to say, I know it's not a political podcast, but that whole shit should have been done we're still going over the January 6th stuff. Like, that should have been done within like 5 months. Like, you get it out the way. Like, it's like 2 years later, or
five months, bro. It was on TV. It was on TV. It should have been done the next day.
I just want to make clear.
Yes.
I just want to make clear our very first podcast was not a dark day in America. It was a pretty tame day, I guess. But yeah, I don't know why I thought
listen
January 6th
to After Earth after that date. So
After Earth, the Will Smith movie that was awful. He's still trying to make his son a movie star.
Poor Jaden. Would you rather see a millennial Joker, i.e. Jared Leto, or a Gen Z Riddler, aka the guy from the Batman, whoever that actor was?
So why do I have to choose? Because I feel like he did a pretty decent job. Like I feel like he did a. I feel like. So
You want to see them both? You can choose.
I really
both.
hated the last.
This is America, baby. Let's go.
I really hated
Capitalism.
the last kind of scene where Batman goes to talk to him, and then he starts doing that whole like, oh no, like he starts doing the whole breakdown, and like I was like, ugh, okay,
when
you built this character up. Go ahead.
Are you talking about like when
better,
Batman goes to see him, like when the Riddler has already been like locked up on the bars, and like we had like the big reveal where Batman, where he knew the identity of Batman, but it turns out he thought, like the movie should have ended like 30 minutes earlier.
Yeah, I was like, okay, now like you built this character up to be this new like gritty, realistic, like, you know what I'm saying, and then they kind of didn't stick the landing with him. And that movie was definitely a Lord of the Rings freaking Return of the King with like 5 different endings. Like they definitely.
So we're talking about Pattinson. We're still talking about Pattinson.
Yeah, we're talking about that.
When I came on for the podcast, I specifically said there was an ending, and then there was an ending, and then there was an ending. The ending was an hour and a half long in a 2.5 hour movie, and it was exhausting. And of course, I started at 11 o'clock at night. And at 2 o'clock in the morning,
and it's so
like,
dark.
I
do not fall asleep.
I just want this to be over with.
It's so dark.
I was like, what? Like it's like if you would have ended the movie, like you said, like 30 minutes earlier, you really had a great movie, but you're starting to stretch it out to where it's almost you're almost making a bad movie. Like I still think it was a pretty decent movie. Like I would call it good versus bad, but they were getting to the edge of like, okay, all right, you put me on the other side now.
And you know what? Like I don't even really have that big of a problem with him being a quote unquote social media influencer with his 500 fucking followers or whatever. Good job getting 20 of them to show up with guns. I mean, that's a very high like that's
really,
high,
out of 500, you got 20 of them. Like, come on, you only got like one to maybe drive by the place and be like, come on.
Get the fuck out of here! All 500 of them like live.
Yes,
20 live in your city.
Yes, like, all right, like, it would be like random person be somebody in fucking India, like listen to your part, like, come on now. Like, come on. No offense to anybody in India.
I really.
You're not going to Gotham. You're not driving to Gotham.
Yeah, you're not.
Speaking of Gotham, let's talk about Batgirl being canceled by Discovery.
Canceled or thrown in the trash can? Because I feel like there's a difference. You cancel ideas. You scrap projects. Like you throw shit away.
You
when
cancel
it's done.
TV shows. You don't really like not release movies that have already been completed. Sort of like the Captain America movie in 1990. Was so awful they didn't release it in theaters either. I think it somehow found its way to like VHS or something to recoup their losses. But yeah, I don't know. This is just like unprecedented. I think.
No, it is unprecedented. This is the same company that redid like 75% of the Justice League in reshoots. Right?
And,
so like
reshoots. What was it? 90 million? No, sorry. Like 90 million that they're just throwing down.
Apparently the taxes.
Did anybody see it?
And like the marketing costs be more than that.
Yeah, so they're gonna take it as a tax write-off. So a $90 million tax write-off is gonna look good on the books. That's gonna be good for the shareholders. And that's just that one movie, right? They scrapped 7 other projects, I think, that we'll briefly discuss.
Well,
what were you asking
there's
about?
a Blue Beetle movie that's
How-
supposed
how
to be
deep into
released on
it were
HBO
they?
Max.
Uh,
They were done. They finished it.
Yeah,
They
it
It was
Oh,
done. It was
okay.
part of
post-production.
test audiences.
yeah. So they sent it out
Yeah.
for prod
filmed it all.
testing, and it was so bad. They're like, reshoots can't save this. We're gonna lose money. Might as
So
well just
some
do the tax
people
life
did see
process.
it.
Yeah. Some people will
Just
know the
test
story of
audiences, but,
Batgirl,
like-
and I will follow them on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
sure
hopefully
somebody's gonna find it.
someone bootlegged it, for our sake. So hopefully,
I'm
Red
just
Tracks
curious
Make fun of it.
because we had J.K. Simmons, Michael Keaton bringing back his Batman,
Yeah.
Leslie Grace in this. Like, you had some really
Brendan Fraser.
big Brandon Fraser, like some really big names.
That's probably why I can't.
And
No, I love
I'm
This
really curious
supposed to be-
like
yeah.
why.
This was supposed to be his big comeback. Not his big. I mean, he's been in like the Doom Patrol show, which I know is Major's favorite show. But he's the
I'm
voice of
looking
Robot
forward to
Man.
really quick, A24 Whale. It's about Brendan Fraser being a 600-pound male who's like divorced his wife and trying to like deal with his
Yeah,
daughter.
that sounds good.
Looks really interesting.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Does it have like a
Oh, wait.
sci-fi element to it? Doesn't
No.
A24 usually involve sci-fi?
You look, Forrest, look it up right
Because
now.
there was, like, that-
look
that- that movie
look
called
up
Men.
Brendan Fraser. Look up what he looks like in this role. It is incredible. Robbie, you too.
I know.
if you guys want to.
Yeah, I
No.
think I've seen the thumbnail.
Oh, okay, you have you. You put on a lot of weight.
Is that
Or
what you
that's
were
some
talking
really big-
about when
Is
like
it was
this
just
he
a bunch
fat?
of asterisks, so we had no
No.
idea what the
No, So yeah, you assholes. I'm trying to save you from spoiler alerts, and I'm getting crucified over here in our group chat. No, Walter White's back.
Why do you even know
from
what
Better
the-
Call Saul? Well, yeah, that's because if you didn't know, you didn't need to know. But I didn't know if Forrest or Spencer had seen it yet, and I didn't want to spoil that for them if they did. So I was like, I can't believe they brought back blah 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 blah. And if you watched the episode, then you know exactly who I'm talking about. And if you didn't get nothing spoiled.
And it was bad.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert: they brought Walter White back.
I mean, I'm glad they're wrapping up the Jean storyline, but I think me and Matt discussed this already. They really should just like flesh that out more or shown more of Jean in the earlier seasons, because he was always just like a few minutes at the start of every season, and they would just do like the pre-Breaking Bad timeline. But now they're full into like the Jean timeline now. They're trying to wrap that up, but I think they probably should have shown more of it earlier on, so we could have gotten more Jimmy McGill era. But anyway, y'all.
But anyways, back to Batgirl.
Yes.
Back to Batgirl. So yeah, so I don't know. I thought this could have been good. There's certainly a lot of Batgirl comics that are worth reading. So like the source material's there to make a good movie, but I think this particular movie is gonna be based off Batgirl Year One by Chuck Dixon. I think Firefly was the bad guy in this, but this is being written by the same woman who wrote Birds of Prey, who's also writing The Flash. So and WB has not canceled that movie yet, despite all the Ezra Miller shenanigans.
So
amazingly,
much.
Isn't he, like,
You can't even
in
call it
hiding
shenanigans anymore.
like,
You can just call it a
somewhere?
menace to society.
he's taking time to heal, but I think he's like been summoned or he's subpoenaed to court for something like child abduction or whatever. But anyway,
What the fuck?
it just sucks that the people who in Batgirl, like, they follow the law, they don't get in trouble, their movie gets canceled, but
Right,
the guy
yeah.
who went
Mhm.
crazy and like was a public menace, he's the one that skip his movie, but we'll see. But I know, like,
but
I know, like, the Discovery CEO is like, even though they're canceling Batgirl, I think like the new decree at WB is like the DC universe is no longer a hobby. We're gonna have to start taking it seriously. That's the whole, I guess, the battle cry over there now.
you mean like billions of dollar industry? Now you gonna take it seriously? Like, oh, it was a hobby before? Come on now.
Well, they just hired Snyder and they just wouldn't reboot it. It just wasn't working and they refused to reboot. They just
They
kept
didn't
going
know.
along with it.
They didn't know what to do. And when you're talking about a $1 billion franchise, right? Like, when you second guess yourself, you fuck up, right? You need to go with a direction. You need to say, hey, we're going to go the Marvel route or we're going to go the anti-Marvel route. And they went the anti-Marvel route, and what they needed to do was stick with it, right? If Marvel wants to,
They took middle ground.
go woke from the toxic community online, then like DC should like embrace it. Like, you had literally the best Batman of all time. You had Ben Affleck, right? He was big, he was strong, he was a drinker, he was sexy, he was badass, he used weapons, like he was masculinity defined, right? In the shadows, he was the knight, he was vengeance, he was Batman. And then you made the experience so fucking terrible, he drank himself to the point that he didn't want to fucking be Batman anymore. Who doesn't want to be Batman? Right? Now, luckily, Ben Affleck seems to be coming back for some Aquaman 2. Right? Oh, yeah, that's true. But, I mean...
Who doesn't want to be Batman? Batwoman.
Well, it's just frustrating, I think, because...
I think it's incompetency. Sorry, that's what I was trying to say.
We're willing to throw away $90 million, and with Batgirl, and with everything that Ezra Miller is going through right now, it's very Deshaun Watson-y. But add on top of that, grooming like kids from North Dakota.
Multiple times. Like the controversy.
We're willing to like throw out Batgirl, but not anything involving the Flash, which is kind of.
So what I wonder, and this has come from my background in finance, a $90 million tax write-off is juicy. A $200 million tax write-off is even juicier, right? So exactly,
Trump
right?
here.
And we know the DC's not. I mean, they've got new management. We know they're not afraid to put out shit content or whatever, especially not for HBO Max. At least it gets people to sign up.
Now I'm reading that they might cancel Last of Us, the HBO show.
There's like,
point.
yeah, there's, I'm sure a culling. We're in the middle of a Warner Brothers culling for sure. But my question,
is that Last of Us is based off the game?
Yeah, it's based off the game.
They're making a TV show based off of Last of Us.
That was gonna be a horrible show. Yeah. I don't know nothing about it.
Thank you.
Like I can already tell you that that's gonna be a horrible
already
show.
so cinematic that it seemed like a proper thing to do.
A lot of stuff that's based on video games hasn't done very well.
Except Halo, that was the greatest TV show of all time. Leave your comments in the post.
Castlevania, people seem like Castlevania, the animated show, but it wasn't live action. So
what was that?
So yeah, they could do animated, but they suck with live action, and I don't know why. It's like Resident Evil. I don't know how many times they done tried to do a live action Resident Evil.
Why?
And they can never get it right.
How? Like there must be some billionaire who this is like he lost his virginity to Resident Evil 1 because I do not understand how they keep making fucking movies.
No, so that would be
dude. You had Mila Jovovich. Mila Jovovich, such a big actress in the 90s, and you still can't get the franchise right. Like, such a kick-ass, great.
It's
great
a good
actor.
idea. It's not like a bad idea.
Her character wasn't even in the games though.
But that's what I'm saying.
Her
Like,
character
we couldn't
for the
find
movies,
a character like it's maddening. And
it's
every time I see her in a Resident Evil film, because I think she's in like 20 of them now. I don't even know how many Resident Evils they have now. I've lost count. And like, I feel sorry. I feel sorry for her because it's like you are doomed because this is not going to be written well, and this movie's going to suck. So
it's very simple. Like the first movie, you have people in a fucking mansion, and you bill it as a horror movie and not some kind of like action horror thing. You build it as like a legit like horror movie, just like the first Resident Evil was, and you basically just recreate the games. It's like it's just laid out for you. All you got to do is don't fuck it up. I don't see why they always do video game content terribly.
I will say this, given my age, I remember playing the original Resident Evil games on a PlayStation, and that first time the zombie dogs jump through like a window to attack you, or I don't even think they're like jumping through a window, but when they attack you, you are playing a video game and you're legitimately scared. The movies, you're playing it, you're watching it, and it's an action film. It's not a horror film. It's an action film. It's like, something else to kick ass, and it's frustrating. And I will say this, the soundtrack was amazing, but the soundtrack was only amazing because it treated it like it was an action film, not a horror film.
I'm proud to say I've never seen a Resident Evil movie, and I've never seen a Fast and Furious movie, and I've never seen a Top Gun movie.
What?
What I kind of miss is like some crazy comedy movies. Like, what was the last one I could think
Parodies in
movies?
Resident Evil funnier. I know.
Like
you talking
The
about
It was
parody?
funny
And
unintentionally.
movies like that, or like
Where
The Hangover.
where are all the
Tenacious
funny
D,
people?
or like,
Well,
Well,
it's funny. No
the
pun intended,
comedians
but
got to be so careful what they say now and stuff. I think they're
well,
trying to be.
The
too
Hangover
careful
sort of like resurged the R-rated comedy genre because I think after The Hangover we got the sequels and we got like the Horrible Bosses.
Yeah.
So
we just need
I think like
We need
yeah.
a new
So,
revitalization.
I mean, although I think like
I think the problem is a lot of comedies are going to Netflix and they're being terribly mishandled.
yeah.
I agree. Even though
They'll-
comedies should be easy money because it doesn't cost that much to create them.
There's no big
So
action set
it should just be
pieces,
like,
nothing.
yeah, it should just be like printing
Some of
money.
you just be ridiculous.
Netflix too have
Yeah.
invested into Adam Sandler, who I don't know why.
And Mark
but-
Millar.
No, that's not
Yeah.
fair. That's not fair. We're talking about in general. Don't talk about Netflix's shitty Netflix problems. In general, it shouldn't be that expensive to make. Look, Netflix will throw
And-
$200 million at The Gray Man. Anyway, this is not what we're talking about on the podcast. Netflix will throw a large amount of money at anything, but a great comedy does not need a large amount of money.
They're leaning heavily into anime adaptations, American adaptations of anime. Obviously, Cowboy Bebop was not successful. Now they're doing One Piece, and
Wait,
I think,
live action?
but the Duffer Brothers,
Oh.
yeah, they're doing a live action One Piece. I have no idea how that's gonna work.
I haven't seen
What?
that.
It hasn't come out yet. No one has. They haven't released a trailer. They released like a
I wonder how
first
long
look.
it's gonna be. The anime
They released like a
is
featurette.
ridiculously long.
Yeah, well, it's not gonna. Yeah, it won't last as long as the anime, but it's like they released like a first look featurette on YouTube, and it was like basically just it showed you like construction of the ships. I mean, the set pieces look good. You know, I'll give them that, but no guarantee it's gonna be a good show. But at least
So,
the Duffer
has
Brothers are rebooting Death Note, so that should be good. Go ahead, Maurice.
Has there ever been a good anime to live action adaptation?
Maybe in Japan, but you know, not in America. Not an American adaptation.
You're forgetting those two amazing
like-
Dragon Ball Z movies. Sarcasm.
Oh, okay.
Intense sarcasm.
Well, wait a minute. You said there's two. Do you mean Dragon Ball Evolution and Captain Marvel?
Bench.
Because she goes Super Saiyan.
Yes, uh-huh.
That still is the best DBZ movie of all time. So, yeah, I don't know. There's 1,026 One Piece. Wait, well, Rob, let's
Yeah.
think about this. Are there really 1,026, or are there 513 that in English and like 513 in Japanese and 513 that are just dubbed? Because like I've looked at
I'm
that.
pretty sure there's actually that many episodes.
Yeah, that's like the never-ending anime.
One
like,
Piece?
There's like 20.
That's like
Yeah, there's over
Yeah.
1,000 episodes.
One Piece
of
has
One Piece.
1,000 episodes. Excellent. I like that.
Yeah.
and it's still not over. It's still not over. Like it's never ending.
I've read
It's
a good
1,027.
chunk of the manga.
Can I
I haven't read all of it.
Can I intervene for a second? I have a noob question, if you don't mind. I, through Watch Mojo, stumbled upon, like, let's say 3 minutes of Avatar: The Last Airbender. It kind of looked almost decent. Is that really good? Would you guys recommend that show?
Avatar: The Last
Avatar:
Airbender.
Last
I've watched-
Airbender.
I've
Yeah,
watched
Avatar:
it.
The Last
I
Airbender.
liked it.
I
I haven't watched
couldn't get into
it
although
forever.
I mean, it was a Watch Mojo top 10 list, so obviously it's going to be cool or whatever the clip they showed. But I was just like, that looks better than I thought it would be.
Especially when
So,
they had a few
Watch
good fights.
Mojo
Now,
is
that's
a
a terrible there's a terrible adaptation for you, Maurice. Avatar: The Last Airbender by M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh yeah, I didn't even watch.
But that's not
it.
anime though. That's like an anime-inspired American cartoon.
I watched Corridor.
Leave
Okay,
your
so-
comments
Their effects.
below. I'm not gonna stop.
Yeah, I was like, we about to,
This
you about to run into the Avatar fans.
Yeah, I know. There's a point of contention. It's not an anime. It was not made in Japan. It might have been animated in Japan, but American writers, American voice actors, American
Yeah,
sort of
talk
bred
about
idea.
live
It's
action.
not an anime. Sorry.
So anime has
I know
to
it's
be
like a point of
regional
contention.
specific.
It's a very
Yes.
big point of contention. It's like the biggest thing in the Avatar
There are
universe.
people,
which
yeah, they'll definitely fight you to death on that point. There's
yes,
Avatar fans,
yes,
but
like it. Yes,
logically, I don't see how
Wait
it
a
could be
second.
anime,
Wait a second. Let's
you
take
know?
this ad absurdum, right? That's a good way to break down any logical argument is to take it to the extremes. What about hentai? If hentai is not made in Japan, is it not hentai anymore? If American writers or in American actors
It's
using
just,
American
it's just
tentacles,
animated.
is
It's
it not
just
hentai?
cartoon porn then.
It's just animated porn. All right, if it's animated
American
porn,
speaking
animators
of
are
which-
like, you can't
it's like-
make this into a porn in Japan. Like, we'll show them how it's.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's funny.
They got some.
You know,
weird
it's funny because like manga's now outselling American comics because American comics have just gotten so political and just like the quality's just gone down. But I've also heard about like a third country that makes their own comics and anime or animated action shows. France, Bande Desinées. So I've been reading some French comics recently, and they're pretty good. So yeah. They're very, very good art. They're very, very good with storytelling. They love their westerns. But yeah, I think there is like, I'm not sure what French anime is called, but it's funny you bring up that point. Like, does anime have to be Japanese? In my view, it does, but I'm wondering what French anime is called. I'm looking at it right now.
it's called
I feel
anime
like it's-
with a
it's-
E. With a hyphen over
With
the
an
E.
accent
I just
agu?
googled it. Yeah. What's French anime called? Anime.
It's
Go ahead, Maurice.
so they're calling anime.
Yeah, it's
basically.
anime with a little
Well,
E.
there's
so
no
it's- so
French
it's like-
animated-
So it's like two ways to look at it. You can look at okay, if it's made in Japan, it's anime. If it's not made in Japan, it's not anime. Or you can look at it like, is it in the anime art style? Is it in the
Right.
anime tone? Which is what like Avatar fans will look at. Like, yes, it's not made in Japan. So if you want to be that literal, then it's not anime. But it has everything that an anime would have outside of it being made in Japan. So it depends on how you want to look at it. It's kind of like, is anime still just cartoons made in Japan, or is anime something bigger than just Japan now? Can the world say it has anime now, or is anime still only for Japan and Japanese creators?
That's a great
basically.
point. And you
You know
can
what I mean?
extrapolate that to all genres, right? Or
And
applicable
however
ones.
you, yeah, exactly. Like however you fall on that scale would determine whether you think Avatar is a anime or not. But I can see the argument on both sides. Like, I can see the argument on, like, no, it's not an anime because it's not Japanese. Like, it's not produced in Japan. It's not, you know, so like you said, it doesn't have Japanese writers. But I could also see the counter argument of, like, yes, but it has Japanese art style. It has like Japanese like storylines. It has, you know what I'm saying?
That's a great. No,
It's even
that's
got
great.
like a Chinese aesthetic, you know.
No, that's a really good point. Like if. So I'm thinking about like
So
this
to get to-
with movies. Like
No, really quick. To get
Oh,
to get
go ahead,
into
Matt, you're-
bad adaptations of great comic books, Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets is based off of a French comic book that Luc Besson tried to adapt into a movie, and it is a horrible movie, even though the comic book is beyond
but,
amazing.
Guys, the boys. The Matrix is heavily based on.
Exactly, another
the
movie
Matrix is heavily
directed by
based
Luc
off of the
Besson.
French comics.
No. The Matrix. The Matrix is based off of The Invisibles, which is an amazing comic, either done by Vertigo or Image. I want to say it's Vertigo.
Is that not French?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought
No,
it had
it's
French
not.
origins. Okay.
Nope.
If I could be pedantic for a second, just googling this. There's I don't know some author named Groff who has a new novel called Matrix, and it was inspired by Marie de France. So I'm going to pivot my argument and say that that's the Matrix I was talking about, and that's the France I was talking about. No, I just had that wrong. No, that's super interesting. But Maurice, I want to point out to you the best show on TV in this last year, The Boys, which is a direct adaptation of a comic book series. Oh, it is an adaptation. I shouldn't use the word direct so loosely.
It's one of the few times. It's one of the few times
it
I
is
like
the exception.
The show over the comic books. It is the exception.
Yeah, but it can be done.
So I like The Boys, but I also don't think The Boys is as great as everybody else thinks.
Oh.
I think it's a little edgelord, and some of the storylines are just.
It's a little edgelord.
No, I get that, but and I think some of the main, and I'm not you guys of course, but some of the main fans of The Boys over other stuff, people love to compare The Boys to Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
Some of the main people in the crowd of The Boys over Marvel stuff are some of the same people who complain about Marvel being political, and I'm like, The Boys is super fucking political. The Boys is exploding with politics.
Before you finish that point, I think we brought this up on the podcast previously. I think Major brought this up. There were people that did not realize on Reddit that Homelander was the bad guy. They actively rooted for him and thought he was a good guy, and it's a bunch of Proud Boys and all this. There were people who legitimately did not think that Homelander was a bad guy.
Homelander basically became a. I can't even say he's a Trump allegory at this point because it's stronger than that. They literally take stuff that happened in real life with Donald Trump and then just gave it to
allegories,
Homelander.
Not strong enough word. Allegories.
It's not a strong enough word.
Then they even had that guy with the horns.
God, do you think his?
They even had the fucking QAnon shaman.
That was basically just confirming everybody's suspicion about what they're hitting at there.
Dude, I mean, it
wasn't even a hint, though, Robbie.
It was obvious.
If you were still suspecting,
it's an obvious.
They didn't straight up say it, but it was pretty obvious.
Anyone who is still on the fence, I read an article and it was halfway through season 2, The Boys is too political or too it's losing its fan base, and it's what is happening in season 3 that didn't happen in season 1 or season 2?
It's always been political. I would say it's getting more political, but it's always been political. But
it was subtle. It was subtle at first, but now it's
now it's just in your face.
Yeah.
Now it's in your face.
Anthony Starr is not that tan. Do you think they use that much spray tan as another allegory to Trump? Do you think that's just how subtle it was? Because he is too tan.
Yeah, he is pretty tan, but that might just be I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if that's just the American way, looking like Superman, or if that's a subtle, dude, that's such a subtle dig at Trump. If it is, it's we'll make this guy overly tan. Speaking of, if you haven't, just not being political, just take a second, go to your web browser, Google Trump without makeup images, and look at how he looks like from over the weekend. He does not look healthy. No politics in this episode, but he does not look healthy at all. Good point. Touche. The only politics are in Star Wars. Thank you.
We're talking about politics, but we're not giving any opinion on any politics. We're not giving any opinion. We're just mentioning political stuff, but we're not giving an opinion.
You're so well articulated, Maurice.
It still says recording on this end.
Yeah, it says recording on my end.
Yeah.
At the top, does it say recording?
We all have little red dots, and you're the only one without a red dot.
And you're the host of this, aren't you?
Yeah.
Because it's still going over here.
It's me, motherfucker. Wait,
think
it says you and 4 other people. You're in the
So
party.
there
Yeah,
is
you're.
a-
Oh no, you are not.
Yeah,
you are
you're-
not recording.
how do you tell?
I can hit leave studio.
No, only you.
I don't have the power.
Only you have that.
Only
Yeah, only
you
you have
can stop recordings.
You just gotta
Alright.
stitch the audio.
Oh wait. I feel like you could leave and come back because this is Riverside, not Anchor. The Alt F4. Thanks, Rob. I knew you'd get that.
Oh, people are saying that all the time, and especially PC games. Well, no one would say that on a console game.
Yeah. Hey, how do you Alt F4 on Halo?
All right, now I'm recording again.
Yay.
Okay, so,
That is
Yeah.
back.
so let's talk about Sandman.
No,
No
wait a
one's
second.
excited
Wait a
about
second.
this?
In case we
No,
had some,
no.
in case this was a real technical difficulty issue, we should definitely let the people know. In case this is the first time that your voice is actually being recorded, because elsewise there's just going to be a conversation with 5 people, but the listeners are only going to hear 4 of it. So if you hear some blank spaces, that was forced waxing poetics with some really good ideas. And you'll just have to kind of guess and imagine what he said based on our reaction.
No one knows about the long tomorrow now. Sucks. Anyway.
No, but we're about to know more about this Sandman. So put me to sleep. Tell me a story.
Before we even get to Sandman, we briefly have to discuss, because it is relevant, Discovery HBO.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Because I feel there's a lot of poor decisions coming down the pipeline. Some people here disagree with me, but I think you'll start seeing great shows, and then next year there will be no more great shows. Say goodbye to House of a Thousand Dragons before it even gets started. Say goodbye to like any other sequel. Euphoria season 3. I have not watched any seasons of that show because it looks really creepy and I don't want to be on the list. But say goodbye to all.
I think you could
HBO
put on the
shows
watch
going
list.
forward. No, I refuse to watch it. But
No,
HBO
I think
has
you
apparently
got
fired
too much Doom going on.
70% of its series staff.
Oh,
So you
that
will
might be
not
warranted.
see.
That might be warranted then.
No, I do not. What is his name? Zaslav, who's coming in and taking over. I do not like him at all, and I think he's making very poor decisions. And
Matt, do you want to take like 30 seconds to a minute to explain? Because I'm not really up to date
So
with the exact in
basically,
and out.
I'm not sure how it works out. Warner Brothers, AT&T, HBO. It's somebody bought somebody. HBO has decided to use like the Discovery app, and so they're trying to merge. And in the merge, Discovery is having a lot more say in the content on HBO, and it's looking like HBO Max is on its way out.
They are Warner Brothers.
And that'll mean the shows that they provide are going to be gone. And basically, yeah, it's like everybody at HBO is freaking out because just today alone, like 70% of the series staff got fired, and this one individual, I don't know his name, I want to say it's Zaslav, is taking over and making these very crazy decisions. They dropped 8 Warner Brothers shows that HBO already owned. They dropped Batgirl, $90 million, movie, which they already invested in, and it's just the decisions that are being made are very interesting and very confusing, and it's frustrating because I really feel that HBO Max has been one of the best streaming services
Definitely.
these last few months. Dune was released on HBO Max, and I'm afraid for Dune 2 now, even though I've already stated I'm upset with Dune 1,
Well,
but I still want to see Dune 2.
So-
I'm really afraid going forward with HBO's release schedule now that Discovery, we thought Discovery HBO merging would be HBO having a lot more say, but it's appearing that Discovery, big reality TV show channel, is having more
And
say.
it looks like that's exactly where they're headed towards. Like, Matt, I might have completely had like a nonchalant like viewpoint at the beginning of this podcast, but like as I'm reading more into this, right? According to the Wrap, it sounds like HBO Max isn't doing scripted shows anymore, right? Which is just the reality TV show you were talking about. I thought you were waxing hyperbole, talking about like Love Island, but no, like literally getting rid of scripted television show leaves reality TV left, and that is not good. Not for premium HBO Max.
So all those George R. R. Martin spinoffs, done.
Oh, good.
Done.
I'm sorry.
Well, I mean,
It
like,
might not be
spin
terrible.
or not. Watchmen, never coming back.
I don't think that ever was. I think
Well,
it was
someone
like
else.
one and
Not, it
done.
was enough money.
Euphoria,
Someone else was definitely going to do
Like
Yeah.
I said, Euphoria. I'm not into that show. Gone.
Yeah.
All these great shows that HBO have provided in the past are not going
Barry.
to happen again.
What's going to happen to Barry?
Yeah, what's going to happen to Barry?
They're gonna bury him.
There you go. Look at the
Is
comedian.
Discovery doing better
What
than
was
HBO?
what was the new show?
Murray's Bullshit Questions.
Wire. It was done by the same guy from The Wire, but it was about the Baltimore police.
Oh, We Own
that
This
just
City.
We Own This City. Great show.
Well,
You're like, shows
I'm
like that will
thinking
no
that
longer happen.
it's interesting. I think like the HBO Max shows and the HBO shows specifically for the premium cable crowd are separate. I want to say like not all HBO shows are HBO Max shows. Some HBO shows are not made direct for streaming unless you pay a little more.
So I would say that late at night on your 13 various HBO channels, you might see some explicit softcore porn, which you can't find on HBO Max. So I would emphatically agree with that statement. But I am not
That's what
aware.
Cinemax is for.
I'm not aware of any.
Skinemax.
Well,
Well, so
I'm not
no,
paying
that's
another
for
$10.
No,
But I'm not aware of any major
that's
television
actually
shows
where
on HBO that aren't on HBO Max.
HBO Max comes from HBO and Cinemax being combined. It is literally HBO Max. So your Skinemax shows are gone.
Really? Oh, I thought it was because HBO Plus was derivative of Disney Plus. And
No,
Hulu Plus.
look it up. Look it up. It is not. No, HBO
A lot of people
Max is
don't
because
realize-
Cinemax and HBO are like the same parent company. So it's HBO and Cinemax. So it's HBO Max.
And a lot of people don't realize that Cinemax actually had like some scripted shows,
Max
that
Go?
were not pornography. Yeah, well, Banshee, like Anthony Starr's show before The Boys,
Great
was
show.
on Cinemax. And there's another show called Quarry with Logan Marshall Green
I heard good
that
things
I'm
about
watching.
Quarry.
Yeah, Quarry's really good. I'm watching it right now. There's one with what's his name, Clive Owen, called The Knack, about the hospital in New York in like the 1800s.
Yeah, Forrest,
I
baby.
think
Forrest, can
there's a
we
few more.
cover Severance? I need an excuse to get Apple Plus and watch this TV show.
Oh, I will never get Apple Plus.
No,
because
so I guess
it's,
we're
like,
not covering
enough's enough.
Severance. Listeners, if you want us to cover and review Severance, like, the way Zeitgeist Zealots does, drunk and not very detailed, let us know. Tweet at us at ZZealot Podcast on Twitter. Tell us you want to sever yourself from reality. That was stupid.
Sever
I
from-
apologize. I haven't seen the show.
Around
No.
for us.
So
I'm gonna go straight to the fans.
Yeah.
I will say
So
this.
let's talk about Sandman.
Succession.
We'll go ahead.
Succession.
Yeah.
Lovecraft Country, but also guess which is a Cinemax / HBO
Oh,
show.
Lovecraft Country. I love Lovecraft Country.
The Peacemaker is a Cinemax show, and they have been trying to say today. John Cena's been out on Twitter saying Peacemaker hasn't been cut yet, but he keeps using this word yet.
Yeah.
And so
Ooh.
the Peacemaker might actually be cut due to these
Guys,
firings.
Do I need to get on actual Twitter? Do we need to do a hashtag?
Yeah.
Are we saving the
Our
Peacemaker?
Hashtag accept Peacemaker.
Our Flag
Save
Means
peace.
Death is another Cinemax show, which will probably be gone. The Righteous Gemstones will probably be
No.
gone. Like, there are a legitimate amount of TV shows that HBO and Cinemax have come out with for the last few years that will be gone. And it goes back to the fact that HBO should have power, but for some odd reason, Discovery has all the power. And it's it's saddening.
I know.
So that goes back to my question: Is Discovery doing better than HBO as far as like numbers and viewers and stuff? 'Cause I always thought Discovery was like on the way out.
No, so like
They were.
So
That's
it has to do
why
with
they bought
the
'em.
whole idea of like AT&T. I don't know how AT&T is involved. Like AT&T bought somebody out, or they're getting rid of somebody. Like it's like AT&T divesting itself of it, and HBO and
Yes.
Discovery coming together. And it just so happens that the guy at Discovery has a lot more say, and I have no clue why. But I will also say
because they bought them.
I was at a mechanic, a few days ago, and the secretary was watching this show about people buying houses in the Caribbean, and it was obviously fake. It was obviously like they already had the house bought, and the production quality
reality
probably
TV.
costs very cheap. So it's cheap to have those, but like people suck that in. They love it, and it's cheaper to do that than
It's
it
always
is
playing at
to do-
dealerships, mechanics.
Yeah, but then to do like House of a Thousand Dragons, or The Righteous Gemstones, or The Peacemaker, like you have a big production value, a writing staff. It costs a lot of money, whereas reality does not. So
I know.
It's just
I know
it's just
Zaslav's
camera
like
crew.
at a board of direct. Yeah, he's like at board of directors meeting. He's like, "What should we do about WB, Mr. Zaslav? Let's do it like they do on the Discovery Channel."
Oh, very clever.
So,
But like this Discovery Channel used to be about like
Animals.
like
Yeah. No,
animals
yeah. It's
and
just
like
making it
yeah,
afraid.
like
Wild Discovery.
Yeah.
like it used to be about like learning. Like it used to be about learning.
Yeah.
Now Discovery Channel
No,
really
no.
is just about
It's
like
about-
TLC was about learning, and now it's about
The
Honey
Learning
Boo Boo,
Channel.
and now it's not even about Honey Boo Boo.
History Channel is now about ancient aliens.
yeah, like
I
what?
mean, that is history.
Pseudo
I feel
history.
sorry
Fuck,
for
that is
people
history.
coming up in this age.
The pseudo history channel.
Yeah,
Where aliens
I feel
are
sorry
the
for people
first
coming up in
Thanksgiving.
this age because I remember growing up, you could turn to the History Channel and watch some
Learn
fucking history
something.
that was like, yeah, that was way too deep for you to be watching. But you could watch like about the battles in World War II or something like that. Like you could turn to Discovery Channel and learn about animals and shit, or National Geographic and learn about people across the world.
Right.
I think
Like
this
nowadays,
the-
all it is fucking reality and stupid.
Can I
this is
share
the
with you
dark
what's
side
going
of
on the
capitalism.
Discovery
and
Channel
this
right
is
now?
The dark side of data analytics is if you can prove X and you can get the most eyes to sell the most, commercials to another company, then that's all that matters. Content doesn't actually matter.
You know what?
Money matters.
Fucking
so.
good. Let me say this. There was no way in hell my generation, or definitely the ones below us, were fucking reading books for the rest of our lives. But in 20 years, if everything on TV is reality TV, and George R.R. Martin fucking finishes Winds of Winter, fuck, I might just pick up a book again. But let me share with you guys listening to the podcast right now, what you're missing out on Discovery Channel. BattleBots, Flip the Script, coming in at 6. BattleBots, Put Up or Shut Up at 8. BattleBots, Put Up or Shut Up, the same episode at 9. BattleBots at 10. BattleBots at 12. BattleBots at 2. BattleBots at 4. Look, I'm just going to keep going. BattleBots for
Just all
24
BattleBots.
hours until you get to Gold Rush. Dave turns Lost Mine, turns Gamble at 4 a.m. the next day. A straight day
Well,
of BattleBots.
That's
Wow.
TV, right?
That's Discovery Channel. Yeah, that's TV.
Yeah,
TV
like-
scheduled for Discovery Channel. Yeah, Eastern feed.
TV is worse than streaming services now because they will literally play the same show all day. Like MTV just play ridiculousness. Or not
Yeah,
ridiculousness.
that's
Yeah.
most
Yeah,
of it.
ridiculous, yeah.
1,000 hours.
They just play ridiculousness. Yeah, just all day, like literally all day, and it is kind of like what you said. Like, what's our most popular fucking show? Oh, ridiculousness. Just put it on all day. We don't have to.
Hey,
We
let me ask you
don't
this.
have to make another show.
let me ask you this, you old fucking heads. You guys remember growing up when you missed an episode of a television show and you had to wait till the fucking summer to catch it?
Yeah.
because there were no
Yeah, no
reruns.
rerun.
Right?
All right,
Yeah,
wait, wait,
there was a
wait,
new
wait,
episode
wait,
every
no,
week.
no.
You had to wait for the reruns
Had
in
to wait-
syndication in the
Wait till
summertime.
they restart the whole.
Right? Oh my god,
I'm gonna-
my power went out, my VCR didn't record the fucking Simpsons. Now I gotta wait 6 fucking months to see the episode of The Simpsons I fucking missed.
I'm
None
gonna
of that now.
date myself here really quick. I was amazed when.
You should love yourself. Everyone should go on more dates with
Yeah.
themselves.
So in the 90s,
Thank you.
Highlander was a great show, and it's one of the first shows that would release their whole season
Oh, yeah.
on VHS. You would literally buy 13 VHS tapes, which would have 26 episodes. Because the thing is, they would never replay an episode. If you missed an episode, it would not be replayed. It would be replayed 3 hours later, and then it would not be replayed again. So like, you had to make shows where, if you had continuity like that, like, if you missed it, you missed it. You had to be home. You had to have the VCR set up. And I love the fact that Highlander was like the first one that decided to do this. We're gonna release the whole show, because there were so many shows before that where, like X-Files especially, you missed a week, if you're on vacation, you didn't record it, it was like, fuck all, I have no clue what happened, I just gotta, I know you had to, no, but like, you had to,
You gotta hear from people. Like, you gotta go and search the archives.
no, you had to go to your friends and be like, what
Yeah,
happened
and
on
just get
X-Files this
what
week?
they got, like,
Yeah.
secondhand.
And if you had shitty friends like I did, who
Yeah,
couldn't describe
basically,
an
you
episode
just
of
got
X-Files,
secondhand, like.
it's like,
Yep.
well, that wasn't cool. So
That's how we're gonna get Batgirl. That's how we're gonna get Batgirl from secondhand.
So this is a super tangent, but since you mentioned Highlander, can I say it has like the best fucking theme song for a TV show? Like,
Wait,
like that theme song,
that was
like
the theme song for the movie.
yeah.
That's the theme song
Yeah.
for the movie.
Oh, is
yeah.
it?
That's what's so cool. It transitioned.
Wars to
It
the
was so
King.
respectful to the movie. It was like, look, this guy is not Christopher Lambert, so we're just gonna create a new character. Instead of just calling him Connor McLeod, we're gonna call him Duncan McLeod, and he's also and he's a cousin of Connor McLeod. And it was like, because they didn't want to replace Christopher Lambert, so they were very. That's a show that was like very respectful to its original movie, although it probably ignored the sequel.
Highlander was a great show. Like, I would hate for them
From
to
the
remake
Clan
it
McLeod.
and butcher it.
Yeah.
From the Clan McLeod, yeah, Duncan McLeod from the Clan. I would hate for them to remake it and totally like butcher the show. Like, I was a very little kid when Highlander was out, but my mom, that was like one of my mom's
Everyone-
fucking
everyone
favorite
loves
shows. So I
Highlander.
watched a lot.
I think
of
all
Highlander.
moms like Adrian Paul. I think all moms like the guy in the ponytail. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I'm
Controversial.
sure there were a lot of moms watching that. Yeah.
I love Highlander 2: The Quickening, even though everybody hates that one. But I hate every movie after that. Everybody loves the first one and hates everyone. I love the first two, but I loved Highlander: The Quickening.
How many more did they make after that?
There's like
They made, like,
5 or
five
6
movies?
Oh, they
in
milked
all.
it, didn't they?
Really?
It's not. It's
Oh,
not
wow.
good. Yeah, it's best just to
But
watch
two,
the first
no,
one.
like, no, watch one and then immediately watch two, and two is like, oh wow, I see why everybody hates number two. But if you take two in a vacuum, it's like actually two isn't half bad.
Oh,
But like two happens,
Gotcha.
and then the show happens, and then because the show is so popular, three happens, and then there's like 4 and 5, I think.
did you know Danny Elfman wrote the theme song for The Simpsons?
Yeah, everyone knows that.
Fuck off.
Now
I guess I'm a
that-
nobody. I did not know that. I'm looking up the
It's
best
literally in
theme
the
songs.
credits.
He did. He did.
Totally
He did
in
the.
the
He did the themes for.
I don't read the credits. Are you fucking
Batman,
kidding? Wait, do you
Batman,
read?
Spider-Man, the Hulk, the first Hulk movie.
I mean,
That
Batman.
was
amazing.
That's the greatest theme song of all time. But no, that's not true. I should restate, as I am a stay-at-home dad with no employees, looking to hire within the next 2 years, what I do now to annoy my wife is I'll just read out people's names during the credits and add my last name to it. Just to see how kids' names sound or whatever. I look for the most random name on like the come scrolling down the screen, and I'll just add my last name to it, and then she'll look over and be like, no.
Your
Which
wife's not gonna
segues-
make you hyphenate your kid's name, so it's not gonna be.
Oh no,
well.
I secured the rights to my kids' names
cut.
much early on in our relationship. The kids' names are fucking terrible, and they are locked in the bag.
I
which is a great segue to Sandman.
But yeah, let's talk about Sandman. Yeah, because you said.
If this podcast isn't putting you to sleep yet, let's talk about Sandman, starring so-and-so from Netflix.
It looks so bad.
It looks
I mean,
Death
the
Note
clips I
bad.
saw.
It looks Death Note bad.
Death Note bad? I don't know. I wouldn't go that far, but yeah, there's like a really
I wouldn't go
hokey
that far,
scene.
but pretty close.
There's like a hokey scene
Trailer
with
for
like the
trailer.
Joanna Constantine.
Trailer for trailer.
They can't use John Constantine because of like rights issues. So they're using like a character called Joanna Constantine, and there's like a really hokey scene where he's talking to some homeless woman, and she's like, "He's coming." Like who? The Sandman, the Neuromancer, Morpheus, King of Dreams. It's like,
Morpheus
there it is.
confirmed?
Like, this is really hokey.
Can you put that as the
Yes,
podcast
Morpheus.
title? 1 hour into the podcast.
If Morpheus in the Matrix shows up, it's gonna be awesome. But I don't know. We'll just see how it goes.
And you bet we will, because we're going to cover it on the podcast, aren't we, Forrest? At least the first 3 episodes?
Everything. No, I don't know.
Idea for next
If it's good,
covering
I'll watch
the-
it all. But
What's the idea?
Idea for next podcast covering the Monsters
can't hear you.
trailer and how
Yeah,
horrible it is.
Oh, the Monsters. Oh
Monsters
yeah, I want
trailer
to see
and how
bits
bad
and
it
pieces
is.
of it because I think Red Letter Media.
It's so
Red Letter-
bad.
Yeah, Red Letter Media. I think like we're talking about it, and like the little snippets I saw was like, oh my gosh,
so
why do they keep letting Rob Zombie move? And like his wife is playing, his real life wife is playing the wife in the movie, the vampire
Yeah.
wife.
I mean, can we talk
Hold
about
on,
that
cause-
too? Like, what's with all these directors putting their wives in stuff?
Next podcast. Next podcast.
Oh yeah, because James
it's just
Gunn's
corruption.
James
It's
Gunn's
just a
fiance.
paycheck. It's how you pay people.
James Gunn's fiance. No, James Gunn's fiance was in Peacemaker.
So,
Yeah,
she
she's
was,
oh, I
the
mean,
blonde chick in
what's
that.
her name?
I have no idea. But
Thor's
she's
kid.
marrying James Gunn.
Which is like also like, okay, I don't
Chris
care,
Hemsworth-
but what's the age difference in that? Like,
Probably like 20 years.
yeah, like it's like,
I mean, she's not like early 20s. She's probably like early 30s, but he's at least like in his 50s. So it's like, it's like
yeah,
a-
like yeah, he's like he's got to be pushing like 55, 60 years old. I'm like, and I'm also like, it's just like, so you know how you can't be like somebody's like therapist and have a relationship with them, or like
You can.
a counselor.
It's unethical,
Oh, you
but you
can?
can. It's not illegal. It's unethical. It's it's not illegal.
But I'm like, shouldn't there be something against putting your spouses in? I mean, I guess you could do it, but it's like, oh, why am I blinking on his name?
Chris?
Taika Waititi. Taika Waititi.
He's banging the Valkyrie
what's his
actress.
name?
Take
He's
away.
Yes,
banging,
yes.
He's banging Tessa Thompson. Although
Yes,
I don't think
yes.
they
you know
weren't
what I'm
like
saying?
banging. They weren't banging before
Hold on.
before Ragnarok.
Banging
They
is
weren't-
not appropriate. The man had a threesome. Give the man the respect he deserves.
Threesome, yeah.
But also,
They
Chris,
might have. Yeah.
My
Chris
thing
Hemsworth
is,
put his
my
daughter in
thing
the
is-
movie and his son too. So
He
you're,
put his entire
Maurice,
family
you're
in
right.
the movie.
You're
His
absolutely
brother,
right.
I think. Yeah, I mean, like Chris Hemsworth's entire family's in Thor.
Oh yeah,
Ragnar-
Luke
Thor: Love
Hemsworth
and
plays
Thunder, like his
Loki
brother.
or whatever.
No, his older brother plays the actor playing Thor.
Okay,
Because
whatever.
they were just like,
Yeah.
Then Ozzy Osbourne was like, boobs. That's the joke they did the last Thor movie. Remember that from Austin Powers?
my thing is, so it's like,
It's
so
nepotism. It's
I mean,
nepotism.
Valkyrie's okay. Valkyrie's okay, but it's like, do we need Valkyrie to be that big of a character? And it's like, it's almost like, I wonder why is she that big of a character? Is it because
Feige's idea.
people actually like her that much, or is it because she's banging the fucking
That's a
director?
great question.
You remember her character?
Just because you're Harvey Weinstein
remember
it with consent. That's a great question, Maurice. Like,
Her character,
I mean-
character was literally a slaver in the last movie. No one liked her. Like she was literally rounding up people against their will,
Yeah.
and having them
That
fight
is
to
true.
death.
Yeah.
So she was a horrible character.
Loki's
in
a
the last
horrible.
Thor
Loki's a
movie.
horrible character. We fucking love Loki. Get over it. Marvel does a great job of,
But
of making.
at least Loki before the TV show, we knew Loki was a bastard.
Tessa
Like, he didn't even
Thompson-
try to hide the fact.
Tessa Thompson is a darling, and what the bullshit shenanigans that Westworld is doing is a shame to Westworld in that franchise and her acting abilities.
Oh gosh.
Have you watched the new
what's
episode?
going
I
on in
haven't
West-
watched episode
Yeah, what's
6.
going on in Westworld?
My fucking mind blew. My fucking mind got blown in episode 4, and not in the good way. It was just like, It was like I got dicked in the face by 15 M. Night Shyamalan twists in a row, and I just had one too many beers to fucking appreciate it. I'm saying in air quotes for those who can't see it. It's fucking dumb. They had a beautiful concept and they made it too intricate, and they try to get too fancy with it, and now you need a fucking encyclopedia to try to figure out the storyline.
I know what you mean. They do throw a lot at you.
Oh my gosh, dude! Like, do you remember like season 1? After season 1, we were like, "Oh my gosh, season 2's coming! Like, there's 6 more parks. I can't wait to explore the rest of the parks." And they were like, "Nah, we're going to the real Earth, motherfucker. We're going to the
Imagine
mainland."
starting on this season and not watching the rest of it. How confused you would be.
Imagine watching this season and then going back to season 1 and then being like, "What the fuck happened? How did we get from point A to point Z?" It's so contrived.
I haven't seen season
Which I
3
think
yet.
accompanies a lot of like what we've been talking about, where it's like part of the problem with streaming, I feel like, is that sometimes they go overboard. Like sometimes like stuff gets a little too like from season 1 to season 2, and then season 3 is just like, what the hell are you doing?
I think a lot of streaming services looked at Netflix and the success Netflix had, especially when you think about these corporate decisions being made during 2021, right? Like you saw Netflix's share go from, under $200 to over $700, right? But the thing, so streaming services were trying to emulate Netflix. But the problem is they don't need to emulate Netflix, right? Like if you think about it, like your spouse, like your girl, right? Whatever, or whoever you're attracted to, whoever you're banging, right? Netflix is like a fun girl, but you wouldn't bring her home, right? Like HBO Max is that premium quality product that she's the girl you bring home to your mom, right? But what?
It sounds like a HBO Max ad.
It should be, but it's not anymore, right? Like what we're talking about, like cutting 70% of their staff, right? Like cutting scripted content from their platform. Like these companies are trying, these streaming services are trying to emulate Netflix, but like we don't want 5 Netflixes. Like I want one Netflix, like maybe for 2 hours a week, and then the other time I want some good quality products. I want some good quality content. Like maybe House of Dragons. Like the first 4 seasons of Game of Thrones.
When is that coming out? Have there been any reviews
the end
yet?
of August. The reviews have been good, but like dude, like everyone buys reviews these days. You can't I don't trust any of them. My question is the Rings of Power. First off, ballsy move move to take these 2 terrible IP products and put them out against each other. Right? Like I think that's like, dude, HBO should have called up Amazon and been like, "Look, I've seen your trailer, you've seen my trailer. This is not going to end well for either of us. You go first, and then I'll go next, or something." But like, dude, the fact that we're going to have 2 terrible high fantasy television shows at the same time is going to be just devastating for Matt and the nerd community.
Well, I really like Game of Thrones until like the very end of it.
I'm actually rewatching it right now. So like I said, I swore to myself I'd never rewatch it. I'd never sink that much of my life back into it after the betrayal of season 8. But you know what, bro? I just got through the first 4 seasons of Game of Thrones, and it is the best goddamn television I've ever seen. Right? Like you go forward 10 years, and you're like, why is television's not a 10th as good as the first 3 seasons of Game of Thrones. Like, the quality content overall has dropped off a fucking ledge. Like, this was the peak of life as far as television goes.
Yeah, once I feel like things got over like it's like the South Park streaming wars. Like became
20 years is too long.
Stuff became
like look at Stranger Things.
Stuff became too much about the quantity over the quality. Yep. Like it's just too much. It's just too much out there, and it's also like, so with this whole thing with streaming services, like, so Netflix is trying to do all this crap to make up their money because like people are starting to cut the, people are starting to cut
the streaming cord.
But the thing is, Netflix is still the #1 streaming services by a lot. It's still way ahead Disney Plus and stuff. It's still. My thing is, you're going to lose money as competition increase. You used to be the only platform, and now you have like 10 other platforms. So you're naturally going to lose money, but the thing is not to like panic like, oh God, we're losing money. Let's try to do this. Let's try to do that. Because all you're going to do is make it where people are going to get rid of you even more. Like just take a breath and like realize like, oh, okay, we're still the number one. Like, yes, we're going to lose some money. Maybe we have to change some things around, but let's not try to, you know, like what they say, what throw the baby out with the bath, the water or whatever. Like, yeah, like let's not go overboard with changes and stuff and do all this crap that none of our customers like. You know what I'm saying? That's giving us a bad reputation just because we're going to have to compete. And also, the subscription service thing is bigger than streaming services. Subscriptions are now becoming the thing because it's so easy to make money off of subscriptions. Like gyms have always known this, and it's like everybody else is starting to jump on this trend. So I mean,
that's why
y'all know I work at Walmart.
That's why they're just releasing games for free and doing their battle passes now.
Yeah. So at Walmart they have a Walmart Plus thing now. I might get fired for saying this, but I'm gonna say it. Whatever. Whatever. Some Walmart.
I've looked into this where I can scan my own stuff and not have to deal with anybody.
Well, I can.
Yeah. So it's nice. It's nice. Well, you could just do that already with
It just sounds like self-checkout.
Not self-checkout. You can buy stuff offline on Walmart. You could, like Robbie did the pick up today. Like, you could buy stuff offline on Walmart. You don't have to have Walmart Plus to buy stuff offline on Walmart. You know what I'm saying? Or online on Walmart.
It's just a monthly fee to not have the delivery charge every time.
You know what's crazy is that Amex with certain American Express with certain cards right now, they're giving away like free Walmart Plus like subscription or whatever. And I still go grocery shopping, but I also like to get out of the house. So I think it's more of a trip for me because, you know, I work from home and stuff. So
everybody might become just like hermits that just stay in the house all day. But so the thing about the Walmart Plus thing is, so it's a subscription service. But the thing is, now they're starting to get to the point where they're really pushing us to get people to subscribe. You know what I'm saying? They're like, hey, y'all got to get like two people to sign up for Walmart Plus a day. So like blah 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 blah, and like
that's Best Buy with their credit cards, dude. Yeah, Best Buy with their credit cards, dude.
Our store manager is like, I don't know why this is such a big deal for them, and I'm like, you know why this is such a big deal for them. Like, you can get people, you can literally make money from people without having to do anything. If you sign up for Walmart Plus or any, like, it's just like a gym membership. Let's say you don't shop at Walmart for that month, just because Walmart is still going to get some of your money, and that's the thing about subscription service. That's why everybody wants a subscription service. Look at fucking OnlyFans. Like, no, maybe I just want to buy one of your fucking porn videos.
nah, you have to subscribe. You have to all.
You have to subscribe. You have to subscribe, and that everything is moving to this subscription based thing. But I also feel like the subscription-based economy is bad. Like, it's just bad in general because you're pushing subscriptions so much that you lose actually making good quality, whether that be a service or a product or whatever. You're taking subscriptions over everything else.
Dude, did you hear about
it's just a bad.
I can tell we're all really excited for Sandman.
Did you hear about the car company that's that they're gonna make heated seats a subscription thing?
BMW? Yeah.
I forgot. They're gonna start making features of your car a subscription.
Well, they had, you said like Sirius XM was the same thing. Like, you could have like internet radio or satellite radio as a subscription. So that's like not really new in that sense.
You're gonna have a basic car, but if you want all the fancy features, you're gonna have to subscribe.
$18.
You don't want those anyway. Those are a waste of money.
$18.
But heated seats, though.
Hold on. So here's the thing, right? So we can argue both sides of this, and on the podcast, I do like to argue both sides, right? Like, the things I say in this podcast are hardly ever the things I believe, right? Like, someone takes a side, someone's got to take the opposite side, and that's my job as devil's advocate here. So here's my question, right? If I'm living in the Mid-East or whatever, and it's only cold 5 months of the year, then I could maybe save money by this subscription model as opposed to paying outright for heated seats. Now the thing is, like, the technology is already there, so like I feel like I can just go to like aftermarket and like bypass their system or whatever. And like heated seats is a really fucking dumb thing to do a subscription model on. But I think this is what Maurice is talking about. This is like the point at which you can, this is the catalyst that you can point to in 20 years and be like, fuck, this is why we're all subscription based, right? Like we're getting to the point like our heated seats are subscription based.
Yeah, our subscription, like, it's getting wild because somebody was like, I guess it might just all be from Netflix, but gyms have been doing
Cable's
it forever.
doing it too.
Somebody was like,
I mean, Cable's doing it, right? Like you pay $60, $80 a month to watch 3 shows. You get 100 of them. Like you're subscribed to the cable package.
Yeah. Somewhere somebody was like, wait a minute, hold up. So I could just make money without actually providing a service.
And on top of that, not only just making money,
Kickstarter,
but it's a sustainable, forecastable revenue stream, right? Sometimes you don't know how many people are going to walk into your store, but if you have 1,000 subscribers paying $15 a month, then you can estimate
you're
how much
going to always have that money. Exactly, you're gonna always have that money.
That's why.
But so go ahead. Well, I was gonna say, like, so not to talk too much about Walmart Plus, but so one of the features of Walmart Plus is what Matt was talking about, the scan and go thing, where you can just kind of scan your stuff and walk out. You know what I'm saying? Like without having to deal with anybody or whatever. The problems, the theft problems that have created for us is crazy. You get people loading up these buggies of stuff, and they're like, "Oh, I'm doing scan and go," and you.
No, you go ahead, Maurice.
There's a little camera. There's
just
a little
like
I want to hear
camera
Maurice
on
say.
self-checkout
Go on
that
about the
actually
stuff.
follows your hand.
Wait, what?
Actually, yeah, because
that's
like
if you
I
do,
was
yeah,
checking, I
that's
was
if you
checking
do
something out,
that's
and
if you
apparently
do
there was,
self checkout.
apparently
But the
there was
scanning,
a false positive of how I scanned something. It alerted somebody to come over and check it, and actually showed a replay of me scanning stuff.
Weird.
It's like, it's crazy. I've never seen
but
it do that.
they only have that at like the stores in the good neighborhoods. I don't want to say stores in good neighborhoods, but not every store has that. Not every store has that feature.
Not every store has the camera. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it could do that.
But no, with Scan and Go, you can literally use your app to scan stuff while you're walking around the store, and already have it in like a virtual cart. You just scan that cart and pay for it and walk out. The thing is,
No.
go ahead.
I'm just my mind's blown. You're walking by the item, scanning it with a picture, and then you're making another fucking human being come by and pick it up for you. Like, that's such a piece of shit.
No. So while you're shopping
with your phone and checking out through your phone.
Oh, so you're just paying on your phone.
So while you're shopping.
Oh, that's cool as shit.
So while you're shopping, you can build a cart. So you can scan like let's say you getting Pop-Tarts. You can scan the Pop-Tarts, put in your cart. No, it is cool. You can scan a bag of chips, put in your cart. So then once you get up to self-checkout, you already have a virtual cart with all your items in it. And you can just pay for that virtual cart with all your items in it and just walk out.
So much
But
theft.
there's so much trust
That's so much
system
theft.
involved.
What? Who?
There's so much
Yes,
trust
yes.
system
Did
involved
this?
in that.
Did they?
Yes.
And plus, like,
Yes.
I'm a morally.
somebody could just act all offended that they want to check their phone or something.
Or no, fuck that. Not even like, or yes, definitely that, right? Like, I would agree, like, no, you can't fucking look at my phone. But like, no,
He's
fuck
like,
that. Like,
what?
think about
Why
like,
do you need to
we
check
have like
that?
marijuana, like is like some sort of like recreational or medicinal legal in like over 25 states, right? Over half of America. I think it's like over 30, but. What if you're just high and you just fucking forget to scan something and you put it in your cart and then you walk out? Like, it's not his fault. He has been smoking pot for 30, 40 fucking years, right?
And he forgot to scan
shopping for groceries. He's been shopping high for groceries every Sunday because his wife makes him go out and buy groceries or whatever. I don't know. And But now, because you're fucking using this new technology, this pothead boomer, Willie Nelson over here, is gonna get fucking arrested for theft. Because he doesn't fucking understand, like, how it...
But the thing about the scan and go is we wouldn't catch you. So let's say half of your cart is stuff that you just put in your cart. You didn't scan the shit. You just put the shit in your cart. You know what I'm saying? because of how scan and go works, we don't go back through your cart and like double check all your items to make sure you scanned everything.
That's
like
so
if you
hard to keep track of.
yeah, if you at least got like half of your stuff scanned and you check out, the other half of your budget could be completely stuff that you're getting for free.
You have that small but expensive electronic item in the middle of the pile.
Oh yeah, all the way at the bottom. Like,
my favorite is like
all the way.
Guys, I'm gonna wrap this up. Do you want to plug our social media page? We can like keep it going after.
Yeah, you can leave. That's fine. We'll keep talking about Costco. I got some things to say.
I know. Like,
you can follow us on.
Follow
us on Twitter at Zealot Podcast. And then we'll also, when we get this posted, we will post a link to our free Discord so you can come join the conversation.